I think I'm live. All these Virgos that voted better show up. Hello. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me double check. Okay, you guys can hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, Virgo, so you guys won the vote. I literally thought it was gonna be Aries, but I refreshed it and it was Virgo. So I was shocked. So we're gonna hop right in. Hey, Latoya. We're gonna hop in and do you guys connection session for October. Okay, you hear me? Good. Awesome. Because y'all know sometimes my sound be kind of funky. So Virgos that are in the room, go ahead and send me all your good juju vibes so we can see what is going on with you all for October. So what we're going to be doing, most of you guys are familiar, but we're going to be looking at first the energy between you as well as your person of interest. And then we're going to be getting into how your person of interest thinks as well as feels about you. So, whoa. Okay. That's going to be a whole message. 3 cards for your overall came out. Go to the middle of the deck and pick these cards for your other spread, Virgo. All right. So overall energy representing Virgo for the month of October is the King of Pentacles. So what it is looking like, Virgo, not to say that you guys aren't focused on love, but I do feel that there's a lot of other things that is taking up Virgo's time as well as Virgo's energy. I do feel as well that Virgo could potentially feel in reference to your person of interest. I'm going to go ahead and light a little Palo. I was like, watch more people came in this chat because I felt the whole energy kind of level up for a second. But legit with your person of interest, it could be that you feel almost as if you're fighting, not necessarily for their attention, but it's almost fighting for space. And I don't want to say this like you're, desperate, like, please talk to me or something like that. I don't feel it like that. It's just almost like you're fighting to buy time with this person, if I can say it that way. So your person of interest very well could be like very busy or have a lot on their plate. But with you guys showing up as the King of Pentacles, I don't doubt for a second that you guys don't have a lot going on as well. But it's almost feeling as if you're fighting for a space in this, like on this person's calendar, if I could say it that way, right? Now, with your person of interest, I got to go back to covering up body parts. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse. Now, with your person of interest in reference to you, it's something they need to be taking personal accountability for that they are not. So going back to what I was kind of saying with you guys, with feeling like it's almost like you're fighting to be in this person's space in a sense. or for them to make time for you, it's almost like this person is not making that time. If I were to go with that example, not saying that that's literally what it is, but just the energy that I'm picking up on, it's almost like they're not seeing the responsibility that they have in this. So whatever qualm, issue, or problem that Virgo has with their person of interest, your person of interest is not taking personal accountability for what their hand is in it. So either they're attributing it to like, it just is what it is, or timing, or whatever. They don't necessarily feel that it's something that they should be doing in order for this to shift or change, or for what it is that you're desiring, in a sense, that they necessarily need to bend to that will, per se, if that's making sense. Oh, okay. In the energy between the two of you, we have the Empress in the reverse. I'm not really a fan of that. That kind of says to me that where Virgo, where you are with your person of interest at present, you guys are kind of at a stagnated kind of place. It feels, I don't want to go as far as to say that Virgo would perceive this as having run its course. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but it's kind of like the baby version of that, like the seed of that. It's almost like you guys have kind of hit like a stagnation point. So once upon a time, coming into this point, it felt like this connection was progressing, it was growing, it was flourishing. It possessed a great deal of abundance, a lot of promise for the future. But as it stands presently, it's almost kind of, and what I just heard was a rut. It's almost as if you guys have gotten stuck in a rut. So it could be just monotony from day to day, like following the same, get up, drink coffee, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to sleep, like that kind of vibe. It's kind of like the same things, but like that freshness or that excitement, that newness, that, you're checking your phone every 5 minutes for their text kind of vibe. It's almost like that energy has kind of stagnated. But from what I'm seeing in the overall, and of course, we're going to get into more detail with that when we get into your person of interest spread. But what I'm kind of gathering from you guys' overall energy is kind of you wanting or trying to, because I'm trying to make sure I say it a certain way, Virgo, because I don't want it to come off like you guys are beating the person's door down, like, pay attention to me, because that's not the case. It's like, I feel what Virgo is asking for is the level of like common human decency. You know what I mean? Like, call me to tell me that you made it home, or, if you didn't have plans after work on Friday, like, why wouldn't you say that? It's kind of like a common expectation that a person would have in a connection with another person. So I'm trying to word that properly so you guys don't get the wrong impression, because it's not like a forceful kind of energy. It's just a common expectation of what a person does when two people are fraternizing and gallivanting together. You know what I mean? But I feel like kind of the root of this kind of discord or this cease in the growth between the two of you, it's really coming from this person not taking personal accountability for how behaviors they're partaking in or behaviors they're not partaking in is actually contributing to the demise, if you will, of the connection between the two of you. Or another way, what I just heard is contributing to the stunting of growth in this connection. They're not taking accountability for that. So I hope and pray that that makes sense. So getting into your person of interest, more specific spread, we're starting off with their fleeting thoughts. The first card that they have in their fleeting thoughts is the Strength in the reverse. That's Leo energy. Oh, then we have, wait, gotta cover them up. We have the Chariot in the reverse. That is Cancerian energy. I was surprised this was a love reading. And then we have, oh wait, we have the Judgment in the reverse. That's all major arcanas in their fleeting thoughts. So your person of interest thoughts are in a pretty heavy place. So here's the thing. First and foremost, with the Strength in the reverse, your person's perception of you is kind of, if you were tempering yourself at one point in time, Virgo, I'll approach it this way. If you were tempering yourself at one point in time, like watching what you say or how you speak or being mindful of that. If it hasn't already, you guys are coming to a point to where it's going to all come out. I'm not going to say like full on crash out or anything like that, but it's really like you're getting to your fed up point, if I could say it that way. And your person of interest is very much aware of that. The thing that I'm not necessarily a fan of with this strength in the reverse, and then looking at this chariot in the reverse, and this chariot in this particular deck just has a whole nother meaning to me. But your person's perception between the strength in the reverse and the chariot in the reverse is like an insecurity. So their perception of why it is that you are behaving the way that you're behaving, I can tell you already, that's not what it is from what I'm seeing. I don't feel that that's the root of it. But your person of interest perception is more or less that your actions now are out of an insecurity. So there's some fear of loss that they feel that you have, or some fear that they may be dating someone else or seeing someone else. And their perception is that that's what's motivating your actions. So you wanting to hold them accountable, right, for things that they, and I hate to say should, but saying from Virgo's perspective, the things that they feel that you feel that they should be doing, right? They're feeling the motivation behind that is because of you feeling insecure in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So the only reason why you're asking for them to call when they make it home, or, you know, whatever it is that you're asking of your person, is because you're trying to kind of keep tabs on them in a sense, to make sure that they're not doing something that would cause you to leave them. Because their perception between these two cards is more or less that that's what's driving you, in so many words. Now, with this judgment in the reverse, I'm a tad concerned about this as well, because there's a question now that your person of interest is mulling over, is the future tense of this connection, right? So more or less, once upon a time leading up into this, the two of you feeling very much in alignment from their perspective, the two of you being very much in alignment, the two of you being on the same path, wanting the same things, going in the same direction. And a question that they're kind of having at present is if that is still the case. So it's more or less kind of wondering if maybe the two of you have grown apart. So meaning if you've been together for some time leading up to this, if potentially the two of you have grown apart and what you're ultimately wanting out of this connection, that maybe that has changed. If you guys haven't been together for that long, then it would be a question of maybe what they perceived that this was, or how you were, that may not necessarily be in alignment with what they initially thought. But again, this is their fleeting thought. So this is information that they're weighing. It's not anything that's concrete grounded. It's when they're trying to make sense of your behavior or things that you're doing. This is stuff they're trying to weigh to kind of make sense of, like, why is Virgo doing this or behaving this way, right? Now, in their conscious thoughts, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. I know y'all can't see them that good because I'm covering up body parts. But we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So that is the thing, Virgo. That makes me feel away. It makes me kind of sad. Okay. So with your person of interest in their conscious thoughts, how it is that they're seeing you at present is very much back to what I was kind of touching on in this judgment in the reverse. It's feeling much of what it is I spoke about in the energy between the two of you with this Empress in the reverse. It's almost as if you guys have kind of hit like a stagnant point. So how it is that they perceive this connection between the two of you was 10 of Pentacles. But right now that energy is kind of being blocked. And again, it's going back to this behavior that I'm seeing in the strength in the reverse, as well as in the Chariot reverse. So it's very much a question of, have we really hit the point of no return? Them perceiving this as this isn't growing anymore. And what they perceive this to be, it not reflecting that at this present point in time. And again, like I said, your person of interest, going back to the Hangman in the reverse, there's personal accountability they need to take. What it's starting to look like to me, Virgo, is as if your person of interest is blaming you for things being the way that they are. And most of you guys who watched me for some time, you know that's a no-go with me. In any relationship, I don't care what it is that's transpired, it's never just one person's fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like one person just led to the demise. It's always two people that are contributing to discord and relationships for, whatever reason. So in no means could I even say, just looking at this, that this is all on you. But I feel that's really what the root of the issue is. They're saying, oh, Virgo's insecure and blah, 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 worried about what I'm doing. But they're not taking personal accountability for actions and behaviors that they're engaging in that's leading to this discord. So what this is kind of looking like to me with your person of interest, it's very much a self-sabotatory kind of energy. So it's like they're contributing to their own demise, not seeing that and stepping back and saying that you are. So it's like calling out your behavior and what you're doing that's contributing to this, but never taking the time to look in the mirror and say, like, is there anything I'm doing that could be contributing to this as well? Now, their subconscious impression, it explains that. We have the King of Cups in the reverse. That takes the cake. So your person of interest, Virgo, is very emotionally unavailable. They fear intimacy. They fear vulnerability. If we wanted to really dig deep, there's potentially a history of some mommy issues here as well. And I really feel just female figures, period, in their life. So it's, and I don't know how much you know about this person, but with them in particular, there is a level of disappointment with female figures in their life. So that's like aunties, grandmas, mama, stuff like that. And it's almost like behaviors they engaged in or choices that they made that this person has witnessed has kind of painted a picture in this person's head of the female form, almost making like a monolith of women. I mean, this person may be into red pill content. I would not put this past what it is that I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a very impossible to please kind of energy that I feel from this. But mind you, with this being in this person's subconscious energy, this isn't something they're consciously aware of. So in other words, this person feels very justified in their actions and they feel it's like the truth. And I'm going to use a really horrible example to try to explain what I'm picking up on. And it's literally something I had a conversation with one of my clients about earlier. But if you were to think about the concept of like body count, right? Like that's something that's up for, debate, at least from my, stance. But this is a person who would take something like that as gospel. So like this person could think someone is like, the best thing since sliced bread. The moment that they find out a person's body count, everything they felt about them prior to suddenly just dissipates. So there is no flexible mindset to where, let me take additional information into account. Let me think about, what this person has been through, what their life experience, like none of that. It's just like very black and white with it. I feel this way. Body count is this, like now you have no worth, no value type of vibe. And not saying that that's literally what it is with your person of interest, but using that as like a metaphor for how it is that they're maneuvering in the connection with you. So it's very impossible to please and almost like a very high expectation of very orderly behaving a particular way. And anytime you fall out of alignment with that, it's like they'll quickly write you off. Now, the truth with this is that's how they're seeing this, like how they're maneuvering through the world. But the reality of it is this person has a very strict line with things because it's almost like fault finding. It's trying to find fault in people because finding that fault prevents them from ever being in a situation to where they have to be vulnerable or to where they emotionally open up. That's the root of the self-sabotage that I was talking about a few minutes ago, but how this person would be projecting this onto you is picking up those traits or characteristics in your behavior of you being controlling or you wanting to know where it is that they are, or you being insecure, and whatever the case. And I wouldn't even put it past this person if they know things about your past to kind of dredge that stuff up and throw it in your face or potentially use it against you. You know what I'm saying? Really not a fan. Now their feelings towards you, Really not a fan? Yeah. Their feelings towards you is the Knight of Wands in the reverse. I don't like this person. I'm just going to say that. What I heard in my head was a passing fancy. So let's just go ahead and wrap all of this up, Virgo, because I don't really like your person. So if I go ahead and sum all of this up, to say that this is a passing fancy, this person, and I think I'm going to use the N word, not that N word, but the narky N word. But in the sense, like, this person, I feel idealized you, Virgo. And I feel the energy I'm picking up on right now, this is like the discard phase. So it's them being completely enthralled, love bombing even. And then all of a sudden that slows down or just suddenly stops. And I feel this is kind of the discard phase. And now when it comes to what I'm seeing in this King of Pentacles, it's like you wanting to like try to reach out to try to see like how can we coordinate our schedules to have time for each other. I feel that could be coming from a place of fear because it's noticing like this person distancing themselves or noticing there's a shift or change in the connection. But the truth of the matter is it's coming from this place of them liking new stuff. You know what I mean? When they first meet you, them putting you on a pedestal and idealizing you, and like the first sign of fault, it's like suddenly it's like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? But I have to stress, Virgo, I don't want you guys to take that personal, right? And I know I'm a strange lady on the internet that you don't know, you know what I mean? But I really don't want you guys to take that personally, because what I'm seeing with this person, I feel for them, this is what they do. This is something that they do. And even if you guys were to come back together, I honestly wouldn't put it past them that this is something that would happen again. You know what I mean? To where you get into that cycle where you're back in kind of like the honeymoon phase and everything's copacetic. And then all of a sudden where you find yourself at presently, you find yourself there again. And I say like to not internalize it, because I really believe you guys are like kind of going through the Rolodex, if you will, trying to problem solve. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's coordinating schedules. Maybe I'm not, reaching out enough, or maybe I'm not being understanding. And what I really wholeheartedly believe is you've gone above and beyond to this point, and it's your person isn't meeting you halfway. You know what I mean? And even if you didn't even go 50%, I wouldn't put it past Virgo that you guys have gone like 75, maybe 80%. You feel what I'm saying? But your person isn't meeting you halfway. And that's no fault of your own. It's your person is not taking the personal accountability upon themselves to meet you halfway. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that that makes sense, Virgo. Whew. I feel like I need to take a deep breath because this is heavy. So I'm going to throw these dice of resonance, Virgo. So go ahead and ask a yes or no question. Ciao. You can ask a yes or no question about anything. Yikes. Okay. We have Virgo, we have Sun, we have Bay, we have Pisces, and we have male. So they can be a Virgo sun or a Pisces sun. It's your Bay, male. And the answer to your question is yes. Can y'all see it? Is my autofocus working? Okay, yeah. The answer to your question is yes. So Virgo, that has been your connection session for October. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And congratulations on winning. I feel like that's inappropriate to say right now because this is very heavy. But nonetheless, I love your face, Virgo. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.